It was a cop, and he wanted his buddies to know how good he was at getting chicks. And so he said, all right, I tell you what, you know that chick's so hard to get? He said, look, I'll take her out tonight, and you listen on my transmitter, and you can hear what goes on. So he picked this waitress up, and he picked the hamburger up, and they both got in the car and drove off into the woods. And his transmitter was on, and he said, give it to me. But his buddies didn't know he was in the car, and he just wanted that hamburger. So she handed it to him, and when she reached to hand it to him, it dropped on the floor. She said, are you going to eat that? He said, say hamburger, say hamburger. Hey, listen. This guy had a wooden eye. This guy had a wooden eye. He could never keep a girlfriend because invariably, when they'd have any kind of disagreement, they'd make reference to his wooden eye, and they'd fall out. You know what I mean? Finally, he met a girl whose mouth was cut different than most folks. Instead of going across like this, her mouth was cut straight up and down from the nose to the chin. You know, right straight down the center. And they fell in love because with obvious flaws, they just fell in love. And time went on, and he loved her so much he wanted to marry her. And one night, the time was right, and he asked her, he said, honey, would you marry me? She said, wouldn't I? He said, pussy face. It was a guy who was eating some soup in a restaurant, and his glass eye fell into his bowl, and he mistook it for a large green pea and swallowed it. And he didn't want the doctor to know that he was so stupid he would eat his own glass eye, so he didn't mention it when he went to the doctor's office to get this eye out. He said, well, doc, I have a little congestion in my tract. He said, see what you can do, doc. So get up on the table and kneel on all four. So the doctor walked around the back of him, and when the doctor looked up, there was this eye. Doc looked, he said, now, look, the first thing you got to do is trust me. It's another eye story. Here's a guy walked in the bar, tried to buy some liquor, and the bartender said, you can't drink in here, you're drunk. He said, what do you mean I'm drunk? If I'm drunk, how could I see that one-eyed cat coming in the door? Bartender said, that cat's leaving. There's a guy, a lifeguard in one of those expensive hotels, and asked one of the male guests to be nice enough not to wet in the pool. You know what I mean? Just be a nice guy. I said, man, you know yourself. Everybody in here wets in the pool. He said, from the diving board. There's a guy checked in a motel with a chick, and he had a bar downstairs, so he kept going downstairs. He loved martinis. He bought them by the gallon. And his chick loved martinis. And they both drank martinis all night long. He was going down, give me another gallon of martinis. He was drunk, and last time he went down to the bar, he said, you got to be high by now. This is like the fourth gallon of martinis. He said, chick upstairs you got must be high too. He said, damn, she must be high. Said, I went up there just now, and she had her stockings on her arm. And all her hair was combed down in her face. Every time I kissed her, she said, ooh. Different strokes for different folks.